welcome to Happy Hour at the Wicker Bar. This weekend, well, tomorrow, it's International Women's Day, and if you've been watching the channel for the past 3 or 4, or maybe going on 5 years, then you would know that every year for International Women's Day, we make a special cocktail, either one that's with a female name, concocted by a female bartender. And one of the books that we've referred to over the past few years as Drinking Like Ladies, 75 Modern Cocktails from the World's Leading Female Bartenders. And this book was donated to the bar by Uli Grunwald, and he lives in Germany. Very, very nice fellow. So I had 3 different books I was going to try to reference to find a cocktail for this evening. I felt Drinking Like Ladies, I thought we'd use that one enough, and a couple of the real favorite ones I've already done. I didn't think that I wanted Burlap and Satin, one of Rael's favorites, based on Dolly Parton, one of our favorite cocktails. I felt I'd done that one enough. And our friend Jesse Hallen, who works at the library in Sultan and sometimes gets his hand on books that have been pulled from the shelves, gave the bar a couple of books with kind of had a female theme. And this one is called Under the Table, a Dorothy Parker cocktail guide. And there's a big whole long story about her back in the Prohibition and post-Prohibition era. And most of these cocktails in here are just kind of like old standards that you would find in, the Patrick Gavin Duffy book or any of those older books. And this other one that he sent over, Art Boozel. And this is cocktails inspired by modern and contemporary artists. So I thumbed through here and I found a cocktail that I felt seemed fairly interesting, and one that didn't require, once again, you look in some of these books and you want to make the cocktail, you think you found one that you really like, and it's like calls for like you got to make a special shrub or a special syrup. It's a lot of work when you're just it's just Rael and myself here this evening. We did try to rally some folks up for a little dinner party, but we just couldn't make it happen. Anyway, so this one's based on a Brazilian artist. Her name was Tarsila Do Amaral. I'm sure that my pronunciation is way off. Obviously, in Brazil, they speak Portuguese, which, I don't know, depending on who you're talking to. It's not Spanish. It's not German. It's not Italian. I don't know. It's kind of I don't know. I'm not going to say anything because I might offend some of my Brazilian viewers. And as I was in Brazil last year, and their national beverage in Brazil is cachaça, and I do have a couple of bottles of that. And not to rub it in anybody's faces, but I'm going to be in Chile next week, and their national drink is pisco down there. So I'm going to be getting up on some of that. So this one, luckily enough, has the cachaça and a little. I don't know anything about this woman, her art or anything. She actually passed away quite some time ago in the 1970s, and she came from a wealthy coffee growing family down there in Brazil. She spent some time in Paris, refining her craft, and she was a modernist painter, where she took some of the avant-garde elements of the European art movements like Cubism at the time and kind of mix those with some of the more vibrant, colorful Brazilian themes. And she was part of the Grupo de Cinco, and they practiced what they called, anthropophagia, and that's cannibalism. And there's a horror movie that I haven't watched. I know some of you guys probably have. And their idea, it's kind of like the band I used to be in called The Accused. Now The Accused AD. I don't want there to be any confusion. Where they're devouring these elements of the European art styles, and they're mixing them up with the art of Brazil. I guess is kind of what they're doing. I'll have to get into a little bit. I'll have to research and see some of her art that she's done. There she is. She looked like she was a very, very, very friendly woman. I wish that I could have met her, but I believe she passed away in like 1973. But this one that we're doing is just named after her, the Tarsila Do Amaral, and it has our cachaça. It has some lime juice. It calls from some agave syrup, and it actually called for a muddling of a prickly pear cactus, which we didn't have a prickly pear cactus to muddle, but what we did have is we had some prickly pear syrup. And I was a little concerned that the cocktail might be a little sweet until I learned how much juice is in one prickly pear cactus. Not very much. So they're saying that you need somewhere between 6 and 12 just to get a cup. So I'm figuring if I'm doing 2 cocktails here, I'm gonna be barely do like a half ounce, maybe 3/4 of an ounce, just to get the flavor of the prickly pear cactus. The syrup that we've used before. It's very, very delicious. So let's just go ahead and make this cocktail. But before we do, I want to remind everybody, I haven't set up the parameters. Things have kind of been busy around here around the house, so I haven't really given too much thought about the contest. But we are gearing up for another contest where you could win this stack of cocktail books. And who knows, maybe by the time I get this figured out, I might have another one. This one's good. Gone with the Gin. Gone with the Gin. Cocktails with Hollywood twist. That's a good one. Tequila Mockingbird. It's not just tequila cocktails, but cocktails with a literary twist. That's a good one. And then cocktails and mixed drinks from the Wicker Bar. I had a couple of these kicking around, so I've saved one. Make mine with vodka. Got this one. Got this one out of a little free library down the road a couple of months back. And then we have this one, which is Cryptid Cocktails Where Legends Get Lit. A coloring, recipe, and puzzle book for spirited adults. And this, as I've mentioned before, this was put together by my second cousin and her husband. Yeah, and I bought a couple of these. You can get this one on Amazon if you're so inclined. So here we go. This is going to be a cocktail for 2 people. Oh my God, Blaine, let's figure it out, man. A cocktail for 2 people. That's going to be myself and my lovely wife, who is a woman. And it is, whoa. It is International Women's Day. So we're going to go 4 ounces of our cachaça. And I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. I'm very much looking forward to our trip to Chile. I hope that we get to stay at the same hotel that we stayed at before, because Ricky, the bartender, is a wonderful and lovely person. And I'm hoping he can show me a few other drinks that I can make with some pisco. And I did locate some liquor stores that are close to that hotel. All right. There's our cachaça. We're going to go 1 ounce of lime. And then we're going to go 1 ounce of our agave syrup. I'm going to go about a ½ ounce of our prickly pear cactus. Oh no, I forgot. What do they call these in Spain? We use those at one of our secret garden parties. Okay. And if you haven't had a chance, to hit like, subscribe, I'm really, my goal is 1,000 subscribers to the channel. And this one was recommended. I had a lime upstairs. I guess I could have brought it down for a little garnish, but I didn't. So this was recommended to go in a rocks. I want to shake this up really good. I found that sometimes when you use the agave syrup, it's kind of doesn't always there we go. She's totally rails looking at me. She's the girl with the faraway eyes. Okay. Tarsila Do Amaral. Let's see, with our cachaça there. Okay, let's give it a go. It is a little sweet, isn't it? Yeah. Probably could have. I probably should have nixed the agave and just strictly used the prickly pear syrup. Well, you know, this one's not going to be, it's going to be too sweet. And then when the camera goes off, I'm going to get a light beating. Nothing too, you know, she doesn't, you know, I don't want to, want to bruise up my face. You know, I'm going to be doing some rock shows next week on the big stage in front of a lot of people. Anyway, this has been Happy Hour at the Wicker Bar. Happy to all you International Women's Day for all you ladies out there. And remember, holy moly, remember that we are drinking for peace here at the Wicker Bar. So let's just try to find a little slice of happiness in this crazy mixed up world that we're living in. All right, until we drink again, don't forget, share this. It doesn't take anything. You just kind of hit that button. There's this little arrow that goes like that, and you go point, share. That's all you gotta do. Or you go to YouTube. Just cut and paste. Control C. That's all you do. It's so simple, and it would make me feel so good. I get that endorphin rush. All right, peace out from the Wicker Bar.